The Father, the Fantasy, and the Fury, understanding the Electra Complex. This is the other side of the Oedipus complex. In the early 1900s, Carl Jung gave a name to the unspoken hunger buried deep inside many women. The Electra Complex. A woman's longing not for love, but for the one man she could never keep. Her father. The first man she ever loved. Freud said women repressed these feelings. Jung said they actually shape a woman's fate. And whether you remember it or not, many of you are still chasing men who resemble ghosts from your girlhood. This isn't just about attraction. It's about abandonment. It's about true idealization and the hidden script that turns little girls into women who ache for men who feel just out of reach. So, what is the myth behind the mind? The Electra Complex didn't start in psychology, it started in blood. In Greek mythology, Electra was the daughter of Agamemnon. After her mother murdered her father, Electra became consumed with loyalty to him. Not just love, but obsession. She plotted revenge against her mother, all in honor of her father's memory. To Carl Jung, this wasn't just a story, it was a map. He saw in Electra's grief a reflection of real women. Women who lose fear or are emotionally abandoned by their fathers and spend the rest of their lives trying to reattach through romance, through perfectionism, or by erasing themselves. Freud described the Oedipus complex as where young boys desire their mothers. But he never actually gave the female version a formal name. He believed that some girls developed an attachment to their fathers, felt rivalry with their mothers, then suppressed those feelings because of guilt and shame. Jung didn't want it suppressed in the name of equal opportunity exploration. He wanted it to be seen, for it to have a name. Because what you bury in shame, you repeat in secret. What it looks like now, even if you can't name it. It doesn't look like drama. It looks like pattern. It looks like dating men twice your age because they feel safe. It looks like craving the approval of male bosses or mentors. It looks like falling in love with men who ignore you and calling it chemistry. It looks like making yourself smaller to be chosen, because you once had to be good to be noticed. The Electra Complex isn't about inappropriate feelings. It's about that old unresolved grief. It's about that old longing for closeness that you didn't get when you were young. It's about that old fantasy about being cherished by the first man who ever held your hand. It's about the belief that if you're finally chosen by someone powerful, maybe you weren't so forgettable after all. Meet Ava. Ava's dad left. When she was 8, not with drama, but with absence. There were fewer phone calls. There were missed birthdays. There was no real goodbye. But Ava doesn't talk about him with anger. She talks about him like a dream. He had this presence, she says. When he paid attention to me, it felt like magic. Now at 32, Ava keeps choosing the same kind of men. Smart, charismatic, but always unavailable. Her therapist once asked her, "What would it mean if you stopped chasing men who leave?" Ava was quiet, then whispered, "It would mean I'm giving up on the version of my dad I still believe might come back." That is the grief inside the Electra complex. It's not what you thought. It's not about lust. It's about loss, and that breaks my heart. How to heal the father wound. But before you dive in, leave me a comment below with your experiences around the Electra complex, or more commonly known as daddy issues, and then watch episodes number 114 and 115. Let's dive in. Here's the part no one tells you. You don't heal by confronting your dad. You heal by confronting the story you told yourself to survive him. If I can get this man to love me, maybe I was never unlovable to begin with. But your worth isn't proven in someone else's arms. It is remembered in your own. You certainly don't have to become a good girl to earn his love. You don't have to replay the past to rewrite it. You heal the Electra complex by grieving the fantasy of who your father wasn't, naming the ways you've sought him in lovers, leaders, and longing, choosing not the man who resembles your past, but the one who respects your present. You stop trying to be seen and start seeing yourself. Here are some shareable quotes and takeaways. Sometimes, the men you fall for are just echoes of the ones who left you too soon. You're not in love. You're reenacting a wound. The Electra Complex doesn't make you broken. It makes you brave, because facing your father wound is how you become your own protector. So until next time, beautiful soul, stay curious, stay kind, and remember to let the ghost go so the woman in you can rise. Leave me a comment below with your experiences around the Electra Complex, or more commonly known as daddy issues, and then watch episode number 114 and number 115.